morning everybody, or good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Pyrography for beginners and beyond, and the final chapter of Captain America. The head, the dreaded head area that we're going to look at. The skin. There is a helmet that's obviously shaped. There's quite a bit going on this, so let's have a little look together. I am using my reference picture a little for this so I can capture the shape and where the highlights are. But what I'm going to start with, I'm using my extra small sphere shader, and I've turned my heat right down to setting 2. So I've got it really low heat at the moment as I try and suss out the shape of this helmet. Obviously we want to try and make it look as 3-dimensional as possible, so what I would suggest is you start off on a very low heat and just feel your way into it. It's a miserable day here in, well, I say miserable, it's not miserable, it's raining. That's pre-programming, isn't it, from the weather people when they say it's miserable outside and they try and make everybody feel miserable. It's not miserable, it's just raining. I'm going to try and move some things out of the way because this desk is a mess. Hopefully I've still got you on camera. So I've got a line here that's going down the helmet, so I'm going to follow this for a moment and see if it helps me to unlock the shape of this helmet. There's so much going on this helmet with highlights and shading that has to be absolutely bang on to make it 3-dimensional. We'll give it our best shot as always and see what we can come up with. There's some nice things here on the side that we can block in whatever we can at the minute, and I know I've got like what I can only describe as an air vent on the side of his helmet, so I'm going to block that in straight away. There will be a lot of board turning going on, so I do hope I can keep you on camera because I can't see the camera. Hope you're all enjoying your pyrography. That's one of the biggest things to any art form, is obviously enjoyment. You know, finding that passion, finding that thing that you just love to do, that you get lost in. And obviously for me, it's very much pyrography. I love to get lost in pyrography. Now with these vents coming down the side here, of course they're going to be angled. It's not going to be straight up, is it? Because it's like, you know, on the side of a head. And let's just shade inside of the helmet line very lightly so we can see the shape. Let me see if I can turn these lights on and if it helps you to see. Oh no, I don't know. Let me turn it down a touch. I have some LED lights that I hang around my pyrography area for when it's a bit dark. Got the letter A. We can lightly block in around this letter, bearing in mind it is angled again, so that far edge of the A has to be sloping off, as does with the top. Can't be flat, can't be a straight line, otherwise then you wouldn't get the curvature. So these are all the things that we're thinking about already. Same with this area, it's not going to be straight down. And over here, obviously, as it domes. So we're just blocking in areas at the minute so we can get a feel. This is the bit I've been dreading the most, to be honest, was the helmet. I'm not going to get through this in one lesson, so I'll just take you as far as I can. Just help you hopefully with the early stages of the helmet. There's an ear as well in here, so there's all sorts going on. I'm sure we'll be able to unlock the mystery of the helmet. Well, you see, when people say you're outlining, in some ways you can outline as long as you're going light with your pen. I've gone inside of my transfer line, but I am sort of outlining at the moment. But I'm doing it very lightly. You may not even be able to see the shading I'm putting down, but there is shading going down. I'm just doing it very, very gentle. I mean, we've even got a nose to contend with. Strap lines are in, happy with them. This is a dark shaded area from behind this piece of strapping. Let's see if we can turn the camera a little bit. There we go. So I can swing this board around better. Keep promising I'm going to set up properly, don't I? And I'm so busy with other things as well that I keep forgetting what I was going to do, was mark out lines on the table so I know where I keep you in the camera. This is going to go much darker, this area. This is shadowing from this helmet. This helmet again has a couple of ridges. Well, this part is really strange, sort of triangular-ish buckle with a deep recess in it. Once you start getting the mental picture in your mind, you can then ditch the reference, but to start with, just use it as a guide. It's there, so you may as well make the most of it until you feel out what you're doing. So if you think here we're going to see some helmet, but behind the ear, obviously, well, there is a tiny little bit I can see on the helmet that is ridged up. But I'm not going to worry about that at the minute. And this is the process I would and am going to use to build this helmet up. I'm going to shade very gently, very lightly, as I search out the tones. I know on the far side it's obviously wrapping round the side of the head, so my strokes are going to go angled. I'm not bothered if I go over this dark line because it just adds more depth, and I'm going to put a sharp line in there for your clean edges. Remember, we spoke about them before off a great lesson I saw of Daryl Tank with a clean edge to value, which everything must have a clean edge, which you must if you think about it. Everything we see has a sharp outline, doesn't it? So that's what we must do if we're searching for realism art. Would just also like to say congratulations to the 2 winners of the Superheroes Pyrography of the Month, Christine Kultas and Penny. It's 2 brilliant pieces of art. I'm going to show them at the end of this video. Well-deserved winners. What we do is we have competitions in the group. The group members then vote for their favourite piece. They can't vote for their own piece. And we then have the Pyrographer of the Month, like the best in show. We don't have winners and losers in a way. We have best in show, but they're all winners. They're all superb pieces of art. Whatever level of pyrographer you're at, you will be matched up with pyrographers at your skill level. So you will never be matched up against somebody who's got years of experience, who, you know, is a super skilled pyrographer. And as I say to people, you won't be matched up against the Sally Finn. And Sally, I don't know if she watches these videos, but it made her laugh when I said that, because Sally is an amazing pyrographer. So she's in like the advanced category when she does entries. So if you're new to pyrography art, come along to the Facebook group. There's some amazing friendly pyrographers in there. New pyrographers and, you know, time served super skilled ones as well. They don't like the way I've gone off with that line, so I'm going to have to make a slight adjustment to my helmet. I'm going to have to make my own helmet up. Because that line should not have gone off there like that. It should have gone much harder up. I may still be able to get away with it. With a light shading, that's a good thing, you see, you can get away with your mistakes. Because you're going to be going much darker than obviously all this light stuff you're burning in. So it gives you that bit of room for manoeuvre. angle wise of your shading is quite important as well here. If you think about, like, obviously the bowl of a helmet, it's not going to go flat down, is it? So all our shading wants to go on this angle, and angles do matter when you're shading because it builds that shape. So always work on the angle that you're trying to create. I'm just going to work away for a few minutes and just try and get in the zone. So if I can get in the zone, hopefully I'll be able to show you a bit more stuff. Switch my board slightly, so I'm just angling on perfect angle. You know, I'm not having to make my wrist on a crazy position. I've got the board set on the angle I want. On things like this, we are looking for highlights, recesses, you know, all the curvatures. Very weird with this eye. You can't see a lot, it just goes like that. On the far right you can barely see anything, just tiny bit, tiny little slits, and they're just black. If you have got an extra small space shader, I would advise you to try and use it on something like this. A medium space shader would be quite difficult when you're in such small confined areas. the head that I want to see. Typical, isn't it? But I know this bit's bellying out, so don't know why that line's going off in that angle. It's very weird. Let me get it a little bit. This would be a cool little bit if you can get it right. Oh, it sticks out this bit. We can block in under the helmet because this is a strap thing. Debating whether to time lapse a lot of this until we get later into it. Because there's going to be a lot of light shading work going on. So I'll just briefly talk about the principles of it again. When you've got something as complex as this helmet going on and you want to capture shape, take your time, turn your pen right down, just work just inside your transfer lines very lightly all around, so you start to build that mental image in your mind of the shape of the helmet. Because don't forget, you know, it's coming this way and then it's bellying out and round and down again, isn't it? So our shading has to be bang on here to try and make this look three-dimensional. Hopefully, like the body looks a bit more three-dimensional. We need to really dial in on the shading of this helmet. So I'm going to switch over to time lapse, I'm afraid, because I know I'm just going to bore you all to tears if I video the whole thing of me just darkening this up gradually. So I will come back to you at a later stage once I've got some of the darkening done. You can see how I do it. If you would like to see more of how you can create, hopefully, something more three-dimensional looking. You know, I won't put it on too fast a speed, but it won't be on too slow. I don't know how long the time lapse will run for, but it's totally up to yourself whether you want to watch it or not. Okay, so happy pyroing, everyone. Enjoy yourselves. If you are having a go at Captain America, best of luck. Hope you're enjoying the challenge of it. It's quite a challenging piece with everything that was going on this piece of art. I've really enjoyed it. I got lost in it for days and days, to be honest. There's a lot of work I did off camera that I just got totally absorbed in the piece of art. And that's when you can, it doesn't matter about, say, doing your best work, because your best work doesn't, you're always trying to do your best work, but that's when you enjoy yourself the most, when you really get lost in a piece of art. Okay, so have a great day, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is that you're watching this video. I will now switch over to a bit of time lapsing, and then I'll come back to you a little bit later on and explain some of the things I've done. So you're welcome to watch the time lapse. Okay, take care everybody, sending lots of love to everyone, and I hope you're all well. Bye for now, I'll speak to you soon. Wish me luck.
Bye.